Nintendo is totally capable of making these kind of games. Man, I can't wait till they give this kind of treatment to Pokemon. Nintendo and Game Freak have finally jumped on the Isekai bandwagon to bring you Pokemon Legend of Arceus. And unlike their other spin-off games like Pokemon Ranger, Pokepark Pikachu's Adventure, and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, God, I hate those games. I was actually excited when they made this announcement over a year ago. To not be spoiled by their new venture into the omnidirectional 3D world, I staved off playing the Let's Go series to have an unsullied opinion. So here are just some of my short thoughts on Pokemon Legend of Arceus.
Do you like apples?
Yeah.
How do you like them apples?
So right off the bat, I only played a little past the first area, and believe me when I say I have played it extensively. Your character gets sent to the sunken place and awakens in the sticks during what is quite possibly right before their imminent demise. But rather than with dealing with the ever-looming threat of destruction that can be seen from any direction, you go Poke hunting. For the same Pokemon, over and over, for days and nights! And also maybe take care of some side quests. And once you're done with that, then maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to further the story to find out how to make that sad cloud go away. If you're familiar with the previous Pokemon mainlines, specifically the Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum Gen, then you'll be happy to see a ton of Easter eggs sprinkled out the Husui. I looked it up.
Hisui.
It's Hisui.
Now,
Oh, Sandra. Dumb bitch.
Like the OG character selection, the Diamond and Pearl clans, and Team Galactic, which, if I remember correctly, they were the baddies, and I'm helping them this time.
Hans, are we the baddies?
I think it's all perspective. You know what? We're gonna go past it. We're gonna go past it. I'm sure this all ties into the DPP somehow, but I haven't really played a lot of it because I keep collecting Pokemon. So the teacher will give me a nice pretty gold star so I can finally progress through the story. Oh sure, I can't go further into the story because I'm not high rank enough. But you know what I am low rank enough for? Getting my ass beat by a roaring Snorlax that's 3 times my size. And you know what? Let me go ahead and talk about gameplay for a hot minute. How do I feel about it? I fucking love it. But it's not without its growing pains. Because now that it's more action-based, it made perfect sense to map certain actions to the controllers. Aiming, throwing, from switching between your current team and items is the most obvious change. And I'm sure, just like everybody else, because I'm not the only one that's freaking dumb, I more than once accidentally sent my Oshawott to some timely demise. Even if I accidentally sent a Pokeball, at least give me the option to pick it up if I'm quick enough. Like a 5-second rule. The battle structure is still the same, you know, but now you can move around during the battles. Sometimes I like to get behind my opponent and try to understand what failure feels like. Smells like a bitch. Speaking of Sigma mentality, there are now Alpha Pokemon, which is the same as regular Pokemon, but big. Not Giga, just bigger. These bad boys can and will fuck you up. Side quests are a nice distraction, but you can't select more than one to show on your map, which is kind of inconvenient because there are a lot of them. Oh yeah, and if you're connected to the internet, you can go ahead and see who has also died on the map so you don't feel so bad and pick up their crap that they left behind. You know, see what nice loot they dropped. Just be careful though, because guess what? Inventory space is a thing. Kinda BS I have to pay to expand my inventory slots. When I first met that guy in the hall, I was not fooled by his MLM scheme, making me buy my way up to Diamond tier. I have learned all I needed for inventory organization since Resident Evil 4. But after my first trek into Obsidian Fields, I took my shallow-ass pockets and paid. Also, a pretty neat thing about the game is that when all your Pokemon wipe out, you don't automatically go back to the village, which makes a lot of sense, because the game doesn't end when my Pokemon black out. The game ends when I black out, and that's really more adherent to reality. And now, a word from our sponsors. Are you alone again on a Friday night? Well, tonight, you don't have to be. Hot American singles in your area right now. It doesn't matter where you're from, Maggio. They're local and discreet. Just waiting to be held in your hands and melt in your mouth. No need to butter them up if you want to get things sizzling. Call 1-872-763-7326. So, I guess we'll hear from you later. Despite playing the violin for 7 years, I can't tell you why I like certain sounds over others.
I don't know shit about fuck.
But rarely is the Pokemon OST disappointing. Junichi Masuda and his team have known how to set the vibe since 1989, right? So we got the bright, upbeat daytime tune. And then we got that spooky, sinister nighttime music that grabs my soul and fills me with existential dread. I really like that sound. It reminds me of Lavender Town. Not the sound really, but the feel. Like the sensation you get when you're in a dark room and you think you're alone and you're so absorbed in what you're doing that eventually all you start to hear is your own heartbeat in your eardrums. Also, you get this kick-ass Willy Wonka flute. If the intro to this review didn't give anything away, the graphics of this game ain't great. And don't come in with the spec limitations or some shit like that. You saw Breath of the Wild, you know exactly what they're capable of. And I think it would have been possible if they didn't also pop out 3 other Pokemon games within the last 12 months. All that aside, I do recommend this game. It plays different, but it's a good kind of different. The music still slaps with decades of nostalgia. Kinda on the short side story-wise, but the DLC is planned to add more Pokemon, so I hope that comes with extra content like observable areas. And despite it looking like it was made for the N64, everything else was so good that it covers up its shortfalls. You know, like any other team project. Thanks, Game Freak.
Oh, I'm depressed, am I? Well, would a depressed person be able to do this? Charcuterie boards can be whatever the you want it to be. And mine just happens to have honeycombs.